The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
What up, Raider fans? It's your boy, man, RB Raider Rob here. You now tuned in to Raider Nation Central, where we talk about all things, the things silver and black. And we back, and I'm back with my man, Uncle Daddy. What's going on, brother?
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, man, listen, good show tonight. By you can probably tell from the title, we talking about some sucker ass flock, whatever, right? Listen, man. Hey, look. If you already done checked out our last episode, we talked about the free agents. We did talk about how Max Crosby, we welcome him back. But I kind of wanted to highlight bad business. All right. And one of the things I didn't really understand was just the concept of this trade, because we know it's called legal tampering, right? Meaning the guys can make they can make deals technically not in the back door. It's within a rule that you can basically make these gentleman handshakes, but when time comes, we sign in the papers, right? You ain't gonna deal with nobody else. I ain't gonna deal with nobody else. It's supposed to be a perfect. There's also certain contingencies to that. We all know you have to pass a physical. Even if you don't pass the physical, but they deem that, hey, look, this guy's still good. He just can't pass it right now. A lot of teams will still go ahead and sign you because they looking at the upside. From my understanding, it was reported that Max Crosby informed the team about any injuries he had. Also, the Raiders have to give him all doctors. That's why he goes there. He goes there. He was seen by, I believe, multiple doctors. I believe 4. So here's the thing. He goes there. You say that his long term for him ain't really that good. Well, shit, here's the thing that really got me. He was only on contract still for 3 years. Right. Now, they were wanting to say maybe they want to extend him and put him there for, as, you know, retire, basically be there for a long time and just extend him out. But they felt like his knee was probably going to be more long-term issue, and that's not something they want to invest in on a 29-year-old edge rusher, linebacker. So, you know, I have not formally got to get out here and say my 2 cents about it. And I want to take this time to say, only because, listen, man, hey, I watched all of The Wire. Y'all some dirty mother. You mean to tell me? And like I said, Uncle Daddy, it's within the rules.
It really is.
It's within the rules, and I'm not a fan of that. That's how I want to kick this off. I'm already turned up. I already got a little bit up in my cup, so I'm a little bit on edge when it comes to this. And I just want, I'm gonna let you have the floor, man, because I'm kind of disgusted with just how things like that transpire, and to do it to the Raiders of all teams, it's just like the icing on the cake. But whatever.
Let me ask you something real quick. Do you think? Let me ask this first question. If they just would have came out and said, "Yo, we don't feel comfortable with this trade," just being organic, would that have set with you better than the way the shit went down?
I don't know. I think just because of how it was just how it was done, right?
Do you think they were butthurt because they lost their center? They lost their tight end, likely to the Giants. They lost a few players that day. Do you think
Well,
they were butthurt doing all of that, or what made you? I'm not buying the whole knee shit
mm-hmm.
because El Jefe was on crutches last week. I
Yeah,
think he just got off of them on Monday when he was flying out to Baltimore.
yeah.
So, what's your opinion on that? Do you? I mean, I'm more of an organic person. If it is what it is, I just don't feel comfortable with this shit. I done thought about it overnight. I'm within my time frame of the rules, so I can back out of this shit. But to
Mm-hmm.
come out and say he didn't pass a physical, man, there's a lot of guys that couldn't pass a damn physical right now.
Well, and you know, a lot of reports and came out about the Ravens doing this in the final hours for bad business, and then basically some failing somebody for a physical sometimes is their way of getting out of something because there's something else better.
Right, because
And
I don't like the timetable how they signed Trey Hendricks so quick.
that's what kind of got everybody in an uproar around the NFL.
Yeah,
Like, yo, because what you did was
because they panicked.
yeah, they
Next
kind of
year's gonna be an amazing draft.
yeah. I think jumping
Allegedly.
in and getting Max and giving up two first round picks for him, they probably felt like they overshot, especially when Trey Henderson was still sitting out there,
Correct.
right? And they
And,
knew that the price of him, what they could get him for, and also still keep my draft picks. Now he's
but isn't
2
Trey
years old.
Henderson? Correct me if I'm wrong. He's a year or two older, correct?
Yeah, but he's 2 years. But that's what I'm saying. He's got now stats wise. I think he's like third in sacks, which is phenomenal. But Max is more all around edge rusher. Trey Henderson is
And he can
gonna
stop
be
the run. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's
He's
more
better.
all yeah. He's all around. He's a more all around. So
Yeah, yeah.
your value kind of goes up more with Max. Trey Henderson, they feel like they can deal with because too. Could they be a little butthurt? Yes, we took your center, and I know that the Ravens tried to re-sign him. It was just more money out there. It was a couple. I think he got it got. I think it got up to almost like 25 mil. And the Raiders like, we're gonna have to push this down. If somebody gonna pay over 30, cool. You know, you're gonna really crack the market open.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they understand in the next few years, guys gonna be signing 24 million, 25 million.
They
So
just got ahead of it.
yeah, they just got ahead of it. And a lot of times that's good GMing because
Yeah,
you're
it
moving the
was. It was
money a
smart. It was
certain way.
definitely smart.
Very smart. I
Let's
just
deal
think
with it
that
up front.
and the thing is, man, listen, I just think DaCosta and what he did, not only just to what he did to the Raiders, but what he did to Maxx Crosby, right?
I'm glad he did it.
Well, I'm just looking at it in the hindsight because that's gonna lead me into something that I want you to see, and I want to put everybody on notice right now. I want to
Your
put
quarterback is
anybody.
screwed.
I want to put anybody that is a fan of their team that the Raiders have to play next year. Because if you got a healthy Maxx Crosby, I'm gonna let you guys know on a little sound bite real quick. Because, like I said, I want to get back to the Costa real quick. What he did to Max, because mind you, Max chose to go there. It was a mutual agreement, obviously, with him and Spytech. Yo, I'm just needing a change. Like this culture is not where it's at. He gets an opportunity to go to the Ravens, a culture that's built on defense. They're
Right,
structured.
right,
They can
right.
get there, but they got some new pieces as well. That's another thing I want to get to too. I'm gonna get to that as well, but that's later down. But anyway, that gets ripped from him immediately by some stuff that could have been told a while ago. But the final hours is saying, yeah, it's too much. And I've heard people on both sides, but it is what it is. Anyway,
Flop
with
Nation
that
for real,
coming,
right?
with that coming back, Max getting on that flight, being back in the building at 6 a.m. coming
Who
back.
does that? Who does that?
Somebody that wants to play football. So I'm gonna play something for you, Jerry. Shout out to Homegrown, Derek Carr and David Carr show, right? Starting to become a fan. I think it's a cool show. Shout out to Derek Carr. Derek Carr was just like us, right? He recording shows, he's doing this, and all this stuff is happening. So I want to play this clip.
I haven't heard it, so let's get
so
into
you can
it.
hear what Derek Carr says. All right.
Yeah,
so bear with me. Let's pop this up and get this thing going.
No, is whatever is happening to Max Crosby, all you're doing is digging the chip on his shoulder even deeper. And I feel bad for any quarterback. Look, if you're a tight end, I'm just going to say this, that plays Max Crosby next year, GG, brother. All right? You thought he had a motor before. You wait till that surgically repaired knee gets 100%. And he's running rampant through your offensive line and your backfield. Like, he's going to live on your side of the ball. Anyway, Max Crosby's back on the Raiders. How long? I don't know. Is it forever? I sure hope so. I'm praying to the dear Lord that nothing changes, or else I'm going to have to show up and hit a YouTube live and correct everything.
What do you think?
Well, the first thing I'm assuming is when he said GG, he meant good God.
Mm-hmm.
Your hands are going to be full. Like I said earlier, I just believe in my brain. Max is going to be supercharged next year.
Yes.
I think his brain is going to be so motivated. It's going to have his body playing damn near like his rookie, like he was a rookie.
He's going to be a effing problem to deal with.
And let's call him what he is. He's a wrecking ball.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't even know if he's going to be able to play on Kubiak's line during practice. I don't think Kubiak going to be like, man, you got to fucking sit the fuck.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like,
you're knocking out players.
We gonna save you for some. I'm gonna try to get you some reps here, but you just gotta do this against the third string every now and again or something, big dog. Because and that's what really got me.
He plays with a motor any damn way.
His whole concept was, I'm ready to go wreck it and do it big. Now you really give him the same opportunity. Right, and I'm not taking away nothing from the Baltimore Ravens as being listen, they've won a lot more games than the Raiders, but we've shown here we could go in their house and beat them.
Correct.
Right? Week 1, that's what we did. It was a shocker, but we did it with Gardner Minshew at best. So when I'm looking at a lot of what he's been in front of, and where he's going, that's a key component, man, for him to kind of transcend, right? At the end of the day, I think Crosby is going to see. That's the thing. I feel like at the end of the day, his mindset and how he thinks about the football game and how much his passion is one thing, but to be mad about how you kind of got told, oh, you ain't got many years left, you ain't worth it.
You ain't good enough.
Yeah. And
man, quick question based on what you just said. This is just a real quick question. Do you know how many other quarterbacks are going to pay for that?
Yeah, like you said.
If you break down the AFC West,
well.
If we playing helmet on helmet football,
it's gonna be some stuff, man. They're not gonna be able to contain him if he's 100% healthy, 100% motor. He's gonna want to. And the thing is, the way I feel like the Raiders have filled out their front line, they're for real death row.
Yeah.
They gonna have to like take him off the field sometimes just because.
To save himself.
Like, man, especially if we in the line for the playoff, let's cycle our guys in, because he's gonna be the one of the guys gonna be out there wanting to play his hard.
And that's a good thing about some of the additions we made.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a great thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean,
You keep him fresh.
keep him definitely fresh. Now, let
Yeah,
me ask
who
you
do you
this.
think his favorite QB is? A sack.
I don't know. Who knows?
I
All
think
of
it's
them,
Pat.
to
I
be
think it's
honest.
Pat Mahomes.
I mean, I think he
I
sacked
think
him enough.
they have a special kind of love hate
No, I don't think
relationship
they. I
type
don't think
deal.
they don't fool with each other. They don't talk
Hey
to each
Rob,
other.
I gotta say something that's totally off the subject. It just popped up on the screen, but it's everything's Raider.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of wanted this cat back, I think, if I recall right, from just some personal conversations we had.
Mm-hmm.
But looks like the Niners just grabbed Nate Hobbs. I think you kind
Okay.
of wanted him back. If I,
I mean,
I mean, you
I
weren't
wasn't high
clamoring
on him.
for him,
No,
but
I think him going there, that's cool. I didn't think the Raiders were gonna ever grab him anyway because they picked up Teron Johnson. So
oh, okay, yeah, play same
Nate
position.
Hobbs is cool, but I mean he's limited, I guess. I think they wanted Nate Hobbs to play more out of his position, and that's probably not
Okay,
something that's working. So shout
I
out to
think it's a
Nate
good fit
Hobbs,
for him
man.
in San Fran. But
Shout out to
we can
Nate
get back to
Hobbs
the
down
black and
ahead
silver.
and get his thing going. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. You know what? One thing I wanted to say was about um, and even though I know it's legal tampering, what is the true ethics in that when because a lot of people are just blaming. They're trying to say, and certain people, not all, are trying to throw this notion out about the long term effects of an injury and giving up those draft picks for them, but then turning around and signing an edge rusher less than a day, and then coming out and saying, "Oh, you were going to pair them together."
Bullshit.
So I'm kind of trying to figure out is is there ethics in legal tampering? Meaning,
God,
if I make a
that's a loaded
gentleman's
question.
agreement, if I make a gentleman's agreement, not saying, "Hey, we'll see, I'll let you know," and then say, "But we don't." I don't really say yeah, but I don't say no. I'm gonna kind of keep you on the fence. But to the point of we made a gentleman's agreement, the man's already flying out there. There was no, well, we're gonna bring this other guy in first to talk to him and see about the trade. He was already there,
Right,
right? To
right,
do his physical. They pretty much doing physicals right before they signing papers,
right.
right?
So here's the deal, man, with that. Legal tampering is one of my favorite, used to be one of my favorite seasons, time of the years, man. I, I'm old school. I truly believe that, Rob, if I say, yo, we going to make this trade happen and we announce it publicly, I think me personally, it's up to me to honor what we discussed.
Fact.
I already talked to ownership, management, the whole nine. And I'm assuming coaches and GMs, whatever, spoke to Max. Yo, bro, we're going to pull this trade off. Get your ass on the next flight out here, or we sending a private jet to come get you. So I think when all that happens with a player like Max, we ain't talking about some special teamer, but a player of Max's caliber and moxie. I think once you do all that and announce it publicly, it's up to you to stick to your end of the deal. Because the Raiders were fully committed to make that happen. And I'm quite sure they spoke to Max about his knee, probably spoke to maybe a doctor or something. I don't know. But I'm assuming you do your due diligence on getting this trade ready to go. In my personal opinion, I think they caught cold feet. They seen they can get Hendrickson on the cheap. I'm not disrespecting him without giving up the draft capital. And they flopped. And that was bad business for them. I guarantee you they're going to have a hard time convincing other teams they're going to stick through deals moving forward on high caliber
How do you
players.
feel about the Raiders ever making another trade with him?
With Baltimore, I'm going to be honest with you. I have done business before with people that did bad business with me only if it made sense for my company.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to be the first person I call if they have a player that would benefit me and I have a player that would benefit them, and we're going to facilitate a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not picking, they're not the first team I'm calling. So I think it's stained and strained that relationship with those two teams.
Yeah.
I don't know the GM's name. I don't know the GM's name, Baltimore. But the next time there's an NFL owner meeting where the GMs and the owners show up, I don't think they're sitting next to each other at the
I'm
dinner
pretty
table.
sure there's gonna be some squinted eyes at some.
Oh, absolutely.
Him for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and who knows, man? Part of me don't know if this was from ownership, management as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if this was fully DaCosta saying this or if this was ownership saying we don't give up number ones. And
they've never done it. In their defense, they've never done it.
Well, they've never done anything to this magnitude.
Yeah.
But they have shown they have backed out because of physicals. They talk about the Crabtree deal with Ryan Grant. I think that was the last one though. That was like 2016, 2018, I think.
Okay.
When Crabtree became available and they were gonna sign Ryan Grant, and they decided to fail Ryan Grant's physical so they could sign Crabtree.
And here's the deal: I would expect Dallas to do some shit like this.
Yeah, I mean, you would, but that I think that's what's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, man.
Because Baltimore's had such a good image.
Well, they do, but again, this is a stain that nobody, because mind you, this hasn't happened to this nature in a while. Like,
but you know why I'm not mad? We got El Jefe back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for us, that's why I think a lot of people say, like, man, listen, we never really had the draft picks yet anyway.
That's correct. That is correct.
We really didn't have them. That's why they call it legal tampering. So, yeah, they got you. But see, that's another thing, too, for the NFL and for all beat writers and everything. This is a lesson to them because look how it shook up the NFL. How much was generated off that agreement, right? That agreement shook up the NFL, caused a frenzy, right? Was probably trending for God knows the first 2-3 days, and then
I guarantee there's a couple of teams that didn't sign players because of that, or they signed players because of that.
Well, that's what. Well, I mean, they had to already sign players because he was already going there, so there was no sense. This is what I'm saying. That's why I said it was really going to be hard for them to trade Max now for the value that they was already going to get for him because two teams had already invested in other parts. You know, guys were already
100%.
set up to come in. I don't think a lot of them were going to back out of those. You see what I'm saying? It would have been a serious domino effect that would have caused a lot of issues. I don't think anything's going to ever change from this. People think the Ravens aren't going to get fined. They're not going to get, any type of punishment for it. They did everything within their legal boundaries.
That's correct. That's correct.
Is it nasty looking? Yeah, it's nasty. Listen, sometimes business is nasty. And
you think they'll make a change to legal tampering?
No.
Behind that?
I don't think they're gonna change.
I don't either. Okay, me either.
No.
Me either.
I think it's gonna make GMs more skeptical about who to do business with at certain times.
Agreed.
And also they will probably set up earlier times for people to get physicals. They'll listen, he gonna get his physical 2-3 days before.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
Now, and then he can go and sign his papers, but I'm not about to do this. And what I'm saying is even if by rule they say, hey man, he can't be checked out by the doctors until this date. They get checked out. But he's gonna get checked out 2 days before. Then we'll do the whole little whoop-de-doo again. And there.
Before anything's announced.
Yeah, before anything's truly announced.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we gonna try and do that. And that could be something they do later on, man. I don't know. For me, it's just a dirty way to do business. And for the NFL that quote unquote has this image to protect, doing something like that to one of your other owners, mind you, is, what are we doing here? Like, it's not something they really, a lot of them kind of want to start doing business like that. It's going to set a bad precedent against the owners. And we all know you start pissing each other off, it gets a little crazy. So,
So who did Who benefited the most out of that?
Both. It was to me, it was equal.
You think it was a push?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a push, and I only say a push because I'm only talking about the situation in regards to Max and them getting their draft picks back in.
But we got
what they
the
came
center.
in. Yeah, but I'm just saying, talking about in the sense of the Max deal, like what they're going to gain and what we're going to gain. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the biggest reason they pulled out, and keep in mind, I think they'll still make the playoffs this year. I think the biggest reason they pulled out is because that 2027 draft is allegedly gonna be stacked with all sorts of players.
Well, yeah.
Offense and defense. And I think a lot of teams don't want to get rid of number 1 and 2 picks in that entering that next year's draft. Now, one thing I would find amazing is, let's say if Max comes back, which I think he will, and be a complete fucking wrecking ball, do teams start picking up the phone then?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, they do.
Because you and I both know the motivation that man's gonna come out with.
Yeah,
it's
but
gonna be
he's not.
bananas.
He's not leaving. He's not leaving.
He doesn't want to leave.
I don't think unless they don't show any promise, meaning he doesn't feel or see the trajectory.
Let's say they don't
shifting.
show any promise, but they're a top 10 defense.
That that kind of doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but he's enjoying. He's enjoying the havoc that he's wrecking.
No.
Okay.
They can't. Here's the thing: you can't be a top 10 defense and not have promise. That's the promise.
Yeah, you can.
No. If you a top 10 defense, that means
you're a top 10 defense, but your offense is ass.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's almost impossible.
I think that happened to a team before. I want to say it was either the Giants or Buffalo.
No, I don't think not a top 10 and they was that horrible. That's too lopsided because you got more possessions on the field, even if you're kicking field goals.
Or was it New Orleans? It's a team I think had a great defense, but they was just ass on offense.
I don't even know. I don't know.
It'll come to me.
Because at that point you're talking about. That's like saying, Cleveland got a top 10 defense, but the offense is just inept. Cleveland's defense.
Actually,
really
I think
good.
Cleveland
is a good example. That's the thing. Cleveland's defense is good. The offense wasn't horrible. It's just they having quarterback troubles.
So it's ass.
Yeah. Well, but then they putting guys in. But then the team is not shitty. It's just they got personnel issues. It's different when I'm like it's like last year if the Raiders were a top 10 defense, but we're getting it done with Geno and the rest of the stars. That means that we're at least somewhere close to a playoff team.
Okay.
I think that if you're a really crappy offense and your whole defense is lights out, you screwed up as an organization.
Hey, I'm glad you kind of said something. You mentioned Geno. Were you a coach nervous that some of the free agents would have pulled out once that
no.
Crosby shit went down?
No.
I did. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little bit nervous. And I also kind of thought that I said, man, if the Jets pull out of that Geno trade, I'm like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most people ain't gonna do that bad business like that. Man, this has been a great show. We got everything popping off. We got what we needed. Max, welcome back. This is what it is, baby. Raider Nation, bringing it home. Check me out, man. Listen, making more content. Check out the show. Lead Check is I also bring it out on here. Uncle Daddy, I appreciate you stopping through, man. Listen.
Yeah. Always.
This is what we do, man. I want to give a shout out to Max, though. hey man, listen. I know that you wanted to dip. I know that. But I know you did it from a place where you were thinking more about your career, and you know you always got love of the nation. But guess what, bro? It was always meant for you anyway. He was
100.
always supposed to be a Raider. All right?
100.
Khalil Mack didn't want to come back. He had an opportunity problem. You, sir, decided to make that move. Hey, Uncle Jerry, I'm going to tell you this, and I think you had already said it. I didn't mean, I meant to say it. If I really think or look at this team on paper right now, I do see us as a top 15 defense. I believe you've already said that. But I believe in the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be a team that's going to have a lot of great pieces, hopefully a lot built through the draft and already on our team with the process that they want to bring Mendoza through. I'm anticipating better things for the Raiders on the way up. So listen,
Yes, sir.
man,
Yes, sir.
this is what we doing. Shout out to everybody in Raider Nation, man. Keep your heads up high. This is what we've been waiting on, baby. Times are coming, and we about to take this back. AFC West is going to be ours, all right? So, hey, man, hit that like,
Peace.
comment, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on bell notifications, and I'll see you when I see you. Later.
Yeah! Keep it going, keep it going.